Hello, hello. How's it going? Okay, so it's been a while. Um, I have been doing stuff, um, mostly recovering from my procedure, and it's taking a while because I admit to overdoing it, not taking care of myself. Because sometimes you think, no, no, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, and not realize that you're really not fine, and you do things and you overdo it. Um, so that puts back your recovery, of course. So, things are going well. I've noticed my garden exploding again. I think I put some pictures up of some of my tomato plants, um, my beefcake tomatoes, which I planted ages ago. I've decided to resprout. Now, I found something interesting out was that tomatoes are like a deep root plant, and then you can get some of the shallow root, medium root, and deep root. So that's what companion planting is also about. Is that so that the plants are not competing for the nutrients at the same level, as well as some of them also give off different chemicals which could encourage or hinder other plants, and some are also um, like good insect attractants, and some are bad insect attractants, and all that sort of stuff. And some of them do nifty things like hide the shape and smell of various different other plants, which is awesome. Um, what can I say? After my procedure, which it was a procedure to I made a choice ages ago, which was basically to not have kids, and that's a personal choice for a lot of people. It has nothing to do with environmental, all sorts of other stuff like that. Like recent people that want to not have kids because of climate change and overpopulation. Overpopulation was a thing back when I was a kid. There was a thing called the 40-hour famine, which talked about kids over in Ethiopia starving and not having enough food. And quite a few girls I know in school took part in the 40-hour famine to raise money to help the kids starving over in Ethiopia, which is cool. Um, that they also were pretty aware of things that were going on in the world, but also you need to have a look at where the money is actually going. Like, is it actually going to these people, or is it being caught up in all the admin um, fees and all sorts of other stuff, which means that it's not actually going to the people that it's supposed to go to. Um, but that's again their choice, and if you're doing anything to do with charity, make sure you look carefully at how much of the percentage of money that they're actually getting in donations and fundraising actually goes to where it's supposed to go. But yeah, taking care of yourself is an important thing. Um, Being aware of your limits and taking the time to say things like, or acknowledge that, yeah, you're not okay, but it's okay to be not okay. You know, um, sometimes we push through a lot of things because things need to get done, which is good in some ways, bad in others. As long as you also take the time at the other end to rest. That's something I have a problem with, or have an issue with, not as in a bad issue, but it's just one of those habit things that I've developed because, you know, um, being someone who looks after family and have had a lot of people depend on you, you just keep pushing the limit to say, look, I've got to get this done because I help and I support my family, and without me, everything's going to fall apart. Being a part of a different organisation and a place where you can delegate and you can actually hand the reins over to someone temporarily, that things can still go on without you, is not a bad thing. It means that you can actually take time to rest up and recover and then do even better in your job, or do even better to look after your family. Like, like I tell people, if you're not going to look after yourself, or if you can't look after yourself, you can't look after other people, because you need to be in good health to look after others. Okay, that includes mental health, emotional health, not just physical health. I tell you that now. I am healing a little slower because I did overdo it, and my surgery is obviously an area that gets used a lot, just in day to day things. So it's hard not to move around a lot. But having early nights, resting up, eating well, relaxing, and sleeping when you need to, taking rest when you need to, when you're feeling a bit tired, is definitely something that people need to look at, especially coming into the weekend, where everyone likes to party and go out and have fun. Also recognise when things are not, when you're just not in a good headspace, when you're not in a good physical space, and when you need to just chill out. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for today. Um, I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure whether I should go into the whys and wherefores about having kids and my decision or not, but I guess that's the thing. I'm not really being maternal, and I don't have anything against kids, and I have great admiration for people that have kids, contrary to popular belief. And some people in certain sections of society, I think raising kids is probably one of the more difficult things. Like actually really raising kids, like properly raising a kid's not just I'm just going to drop my kid off at childcare because I want to go off to the gym and I want us just to hang out and do whatever. Setting a good example for your kids, um, raising them to be well adjusted individuals, and yeah, they're gonna mess up, they're gonna be rat bags, they're gonna do, because at a certain point in time, despite a lot of people raising their kids right, the kids will be rat bags every now and again. And I think I've talked with a lot of people that are parents that said as a parent there's a certain point in time when you just got to go, right, you're an adult, you have made decisions and you're going to have to live with those consequences. I can help you in certain respects, but at some point in time, I've got to not help you, and that's actually helping you by not helping you. So, yeah, knowing when to do that, I figure would be difficult for parents, particularly when they care a lot for their kids. Um, I admit I don't have kids, so I don't know what that's like. I have had various people dependent on me, and I've helped them, and they have been family, and I have had to say, no, I just can't help you anymore. For my own sanity, um, as much as your own health, your own well being, your own adaptability into life. Because they, I guess they both, even though they were adults, they did need to grow up and develop in certain ways. That they needed to take responsibility for a lot of things that were happening and just realise that, you know, they need to stand on their own 2 feet. But again, my experiences are pretty different from a lot of others, and to be able to say things like that, people again would say, you know, what the hell do I know? And I said, well, I know what I've experienced, and I can only say and draw kind of a parallel. But again, I think it is also good to get other people's opinions that don't have any skin in the game, because they will also be able to remove themselves emotionally and say, look, these are your options. You can feel compelled to pursue these other options, but at the end of the day, the decision's not only you're going to have to live with, that just might make you feel better, but decisions that your family is going to have to, the people you're helping are going to have to live with. Because if, I guess it's a, you can help them to a certain extent, but if you can't help them to help themselves, then there's a danger that you're going to be used as a crutch forever. And will they thank you for that later on? That they couldn't do it themselves. I mean, there's some kids I know. I was one of them that said, I know I'm going to make mistakes. You've got to let me make my own mistakes and learn from them, because I'm not going to learn if you keep trying to pick up after me. If you keep saying this and that, I have to experience certain things for myself. Not everything, but certain things I need to figure out in my head, because it's going to stick more into my brain. And some things I know are going to be bad, but I've done them anyway. And people ask me, well, why? Why have you done that if you knew it was going to be bad? I said, because it just had to happen. There was no other way to get out of a cycle that I didn't want to be in anymore. And I don't know what's at the other end, but I'm sure it's not as bad as I think it is. And in all the cases, it's never been as bad as I thought it was. Just the, I guess, messing with my own head, that thinking that, if I just keep doing the same thing over and over again, maybe something will change. But it hadn't. So if you don't like where you are, change something. If you don't like what you're doing, change something. It's scary for something to be different, but again, you won't know until you try, and keep trying and reaching out and extending and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Knowing that certain uncomfortable and being vulnerable is necessary, and it's good. It's not necessarily all bad. Anyway, that was getting a bit too deep for today. I'm trying to keep it light and just say, hey, look, I'm still alive, recovering slowly but surely. So hopefully I will get back into things with more regularity. I can't guarantee that for the moment, because they said, like, at least 4 to 6 weeks of healing. That's if things are going well. And I have overdone it, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Not sure whether I want to take time to reflect and look around, take a stop, take a breath, and go, do I need to have a self-care day? Moment, hour, weekend, week, whatever. Have a good assessment on what you want, where you want to be, and take care of yourself. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later while I keep going with what I'm doing, and check on my puppo, who's probably sleeping. I'll catch you later. Bye.